Okay, welcome back to our Puredata tutorial. So over the last few weeks, we have come across the use of drawing geometrical shape with the use of the gem library. So in this tutorial, we start to move into a new adventure. So we use the image or image processing command to load in digital image you have prepared either in Photoshop or other similar software. And after that, we are also going to explore the use of digital video and live video camera from your webcam for digital image processing. So we come back to the default, which is the one with the gem window, create, destroy, and also a rendering toggle, and also an empty gem head with just only one rectangle. If we take a look at this particular page, we have only one single rectangular image, the white square, on top of this particular gem window. So what we are going to do is to load in a JPEG or whichever digital image format and then put it on top of this particular square. To start with, we introduce two objects. One is a pix image. So you can notice that everything we start with PIX and an underscore belongs to this family. So the PIX is actually a pixel or picture element. So when we are talking about using the digital image in the raster image format, we make use of this particular family of commands or objects, PIX. So if we take a look at this explanation or the help for the pix image, it tells you something about how you can open a JPEG or a TIF or a PNG file format and display it using the pix image format. So in order to display this image, we need to do something in order that we can put the image on top of this particular rectangle or square at this moment. The command we are going to introduce is a standard 3D rendering command we call the texture. When we are using normal 3D modeling software, when we have done a model using the wireframe or the architecture, we need to, for example, map some of those images at the surface for this particular model. So the command we usually have a name called texture. So the pix texture is actually belongs to this functionality, which take in the input from the pix image as a digital image and then map it on top of this particular model or geometrical shape. At this point is a rectangular area. So we connect the four of them from the gem head through the pix image, through the pix texture, and finally arrive at the rectangle. If we do not put in the size parameter of the rectangle, it has a default size of 1 by 1, width and height. And before we can display something as a texture, we need to open that particular image file. So the message we're going to open that message file is actually just the name open and also the name of that particular file you would like to use. So I have prepared a file without our channel and store it as an JPEG format. So we connect the message to the pix image and then we start the page to have a look. At this point, we still see the original white square. And once we press this particular message button, so it will open that particular file. So at this point, the name of the patch is lesson008a.pd. And if we take a look of the folder, the patch is here. And then I have prepared the other JPEG or PNG image over here, so you can have a look. The JPEG is here. The patch is here. If we specify the name like this one, it will automatically search the same folder where you put in your lesson008.pd, and within the same folder, it will locate this particular file and then open the file through the pix image command, and then use the image as the texture map for this particular rectangle. So besides JPEG, we can also have other file format. For example, another common file format is the PNG or even the TIF. You can try. If we click this again, it will load the new file with the PNG format. And at this point, the PNG file and the JPEG file are just the same. So they all have this particular light bulb in the center. And once it's open, it's do the same things again, going through the pix image and pix texture, and then map it on top of the rectangle. And if we take a look at this name, I have prepared two versions of the PNG file. One is the no alpha, that is without an alpha channel. So the alpha channel is actually determine the transparency of the image. So if we take a look at those software like the Photoshop, you can specify one extra channel. The original color channel is RGB, red, green, and blue. With the alpha channel, you can specify which particular pixel is transparent with a depth of 8 bits. So for the one with alpha channel, we can just do the same to open that particular file and then use it to map on top of the rectangle. But it doesn't have any effect at this point because we need to specify to Puredata or to Jam that we would like to make use of the alpha channel to enable the transparency. In order to do that one, we have to specify one more thing. So that is an alpha command. The alpha command will enable the alpha blending of the transparency channel along with the RGB, that's the color channel. We can make use of the alpha command to enable the alpha channel such that those you would like to be transparent will appear to be invisible together with the background. So we can have a look of the effect. So this is the original one, and we can click upon the one with the alpha channel, and it go through the pix image, the alpha, and also the pix texture. So the end result will be something like this one. You have the one with alpha channel, and you can see the alpha blending of this particular effect. And again, if you take a look at the original image, so this is the one with the alpha channel. So this is the one without the alpha. So you can compare the two of them. The one with alpha channel you can see through the background, and the pixel with the alpha channel appear to be transparent. So at this point, all those image files appear in the same folder of the patch, and we use the hardcode command in the message box, open something.jpg or png to open that particular image file. So actually, you can store your image file elsewhere, and within the patch you can trigger the open of that particular file in whichever folders you would like to use. The way we can achieve this one is by using a parameter in the open message. Instead of writing the whole file name over here, we can write down a parameter. So in Puredata, parameter is indicated by the notation $, and the number. So you have $1, which is the first parameter. So if you have more than one parameters, you can have $2, $3, or $4. So the second step is we need to pass the file name as the $1, such that the open message can open the actual file name instead of the notations $1. The file name is obtained by another object. We would use the open panel objects. And if you take a look at the open panel objects, it will actually create a file panel such that you can select that particular file to open. To work on with this one, we have to put in a band. So a band is a signal which provides only an initiator function. So that is a trigger point. So once you click on the band, it will trigger the open panel objects to operate. So we can have a look at the effect. So once we click on this particular band object, so this particular file panel will be opened. We can at this point to select other file, for example the one without the alpha, and then to open this one. So once you select the one without alpha, you can see the original image with the white background, and again you can select the other one. So this is the one with alpha, so you can compare the operation. If you go back to the console window, this particular window, you can also have a look at those messages. Whenever you would like to open a file or external resource, there will be a message around here. You can have a look. For example, there's one who select the light bulb with no alpha, and the second message will indicate you have select the light bulb with alpha PNG to open. So those are the areas you can also have a look in order to make sure you have performed the right selection. So this is the basic command we would like to introduce, how you can make use of the pix image, the alpha, and the pix texture as a way to play around with digital image. So other than the pix image, we will introduce further command to, for example, select movie files or the image from the webcam, and at the same time to do the texture mapping on top of a geometrical shape. So besides using rectangle, you can try to have fun with other geometrical shapes such as circle, triangle, or even dimensional model like the cube sphere. So let's have the other exercise later.